Good morning. I'm Yoga.
I'm Sneha.
I'm Dominica.
I'm Abhi, and we are in Enactus City.
Enactus City University of London restarted in September 2019 with the foundation of being at home at the most sustainable campus in London.
We have risen from the ashes and today have 29 members and 2 social projects in motion that are on their way to make a major social impact in our community, the borough of Islington in London.
Imagine buying a shirt. You would probably consider its size, color, and design, but that is not the case for Michelle, the mother of Tom, a 14-year-old boy with learning disabilities, autism, ADHD, and epilepsy. She also needs to think about how he will put it on. His disability prevents him from dressing himself and requires the help of another person, so she is not only thinking about the design aspect, but also about the functional side. In Garmented, we believe that everyone should have easy access to clothing suited to their needs. We are a newly emerging social enterprise with a mission to make bespoke adaptive clothing affordable, sustainable, and fashionable for people with disabilities.
There are 13.9 million people with a disability living in the UK, and over 1.11 million of them are children. They spend an average of £583 per month, more than a regular household on overall expenses.
The adaptive clothing market is projected to be more than a £300 billion industry by 2026. Enactus City saw this opportunity and thus came Garmented.
We identified 2 major social problems. The first problem is people with disabilities face issues with regular clothing. Aligned with the UN Sustainable Development Goal number 10, we are focused on reducing this inequality.
The second problem we identified is the waste generated by the fashion industry. In 2016, the UK sent 235 million items of clothing to landfill. It is quite an outrage, especially when we know that almost 100% of clothing items are recyclable. We want to reduce this by upcycling donated secondhand clothes that would have otherwise been sent to landfills. Our work in this area contributes to the UN's 3 other Sustainable Development Goals as well.
To solve these 2 problems, we came up with a 3-step process. Firstly, we collect second-hand clothes according to our clothes collection criteria. Secondly, they are cleaned thoroughly to meet our usable product standard. Finally, they are modified by student volunteers from fashion schools with technical skills.
To do this, we need the help and support of multiple entities, and this is where our project partners come into play. We met with Tag Youth Club, who supports us with access to the beneficiaries who would like to help, and that is how we met Tom. We spoke to his mom, Michelle, who was very excited about our project and agreed to collaborate with us to make our first prototype. With our prototype, we replaced a button-up mechanism on a regular shirt with a Velcro, as Tom has problems with motor planning and coordination required in buttoning up a shirt.
Here is what Michelle had to say about the prototype we made for Tom. He likes to be as independent as he can and will put on a t-shirt by himself. However, he will need full assistance in putting on a shirt. So an adaptive shirt is really useful for Tom. He really liked the shirt you made. The verdict is that it was very easy for Tom to take it off, which is fantastic. He liked ripping it off like a superhero. It was harder for him to put on, but it could come with some practice. And it looks just like a normal shirt.
We have directly impacted Tom with our first item of adaptive clothing. Tom can now wear a shirt on his own without someone's help. This is the direct impact we have already created on one person, and we aim to replicate this positive experience with 5 other beneficiaries by December 2020. We are also in talks with a potential partner, a local school, who are considering coming abroad the project. With this partnership, we'll be able to learn a lot about the problems children with various disabilities face and thus help tailor our prototypes to solve them.
The social impact that we aim to achieve is that young people with disabilities get increased confidence, freedom, and dignity by using our products. The economic impact Garmented creates is effectively using the materials that are recyclable and selling the resulting products at affordable prices. The environmental impact that we will create as a result is the reduction of clothing waste by upcycling.
Our success will be measured by the following: the number of products we made, the number of families that have been impacted, and the weight of clothes prevented from going to landfill.
We started the project in November 2019, and in February 2020, we pitched at the Domino's Waste Reduction Competition. In early March, we met our project partner and made our first prototype.
Our future plans were initially different, but we had to postpone them due to the current pandemic. So, in September, we aim to establish partnerships with fashion schools to recruit student volunteers and, with their help, make further prototypes. And in October, we aim to sell at least 3 products.
Government Aid is only one of the exciting new projects of Enactus City.
We have been able to continue our impact in the lives of those living with disabilities with our second project, All in Bloom.
Imagine being isolated, unable to communicate with the people around you, let alone your own community. Autistic spectrum disorder is a development disability that affects how individuals perceive and interact with the world. 79% of those that live with autistic spectrum disorder feel such social isolation and yearn for a stronger sense of community. 1 in 3 are at risk of experiencing severe mental health difficulties due to the lack of inclusion and engagement within society.
Now, imagine the world runs out of food, resources are scarce, famine becomes an epidemic. Why? The bees. 1/3 of the global food production is reliant on bees and insect pollinators. It will cost UK alone £1.8 billion per year to manually pollinate crops. This simply means your food will become more expensive. This is not a far-fetched reality. In the UK, there are 250 species of bees, but 14% are at conservation concern, 11% are threatened, and 7% are regionally extinct.
Enactus City has bridged the social need and environmental need in an initiative that works towards promoting social inclusion and biodiversity through community building and gardening activities in the Northampton Square Garden.
Gardening is beneficial to the autistic spectrum disorder individuals because it helps develop their social, behavioral, and sensory motor skills. And through this, we will positively impact their personal and professional life.
Bees are declining because of urbanization, intensified agriculture, and the use of pesticides and herbicides. By planting bee-friendly plants, we will increase habitat availability established to empower. This is All in Bloom. To achieve social inclusion and enhance biodiversity, All in Bloom focuses on 3 main pillars: development, design, and inspire. Development focuses on establishing strong relationships with autistic individuals through gardening to better understand their needs and wants and to ensure their comfort.
From an environmental aspect, development focuses on the rebuilding and the sustaining of the Northampton Square Garden by working closely with our project partners in choosing bee-friendly plants. Our second pillar, design, focuses on creating tailored gardening sessions for them based on their needs, wants, and abilities.
The final pillar is inspire. All in Bloom aims to inspire the wider community to understand the social and environmental challenges we face, emphasizing good citizenship through autistic spectrum disorder individuals.
Our relationship with City University of London got us closer to our vision. They gave us access to key resources that enhance our capabilities, including access to the Northampton Square Community Garden and the access to key contacts in the local council to fast-track our project and future activities. Included in this is also the marketing and the distribution support that we've received from City University of London. We had our first project, Pilot, at City University of London to raise awareness about some of the issues we're tackling, particularly environmental. From our survey, we found that 57.7% of the people had little knowledge about bee and pollinator decline. 26.9% were not aware at all. And only 15.4% were well aware but oblivious of the impact that it had on our economy and our environment.
We have partnered with Beyond Autism, which is a collection of schools that deliver transformative and educational experiences to autistic individuals. Following our proposal, we met and agreed that we will work with 6 to 8 sixth form students to help them gain their gardening credentials. Some will understand the environmental impact, while others will simply benefit by developing their social and behavioral skills.
For the next couple of months, we're devoted to making All in Bloom a tangible reality. In September 2020, we will work with Beyond Autism to have the MOU signed, the risk assessment of the Northampton Square completed, and to enhance their needs assessment by volunteering in their gardening events in their local community garden. In October 2020, we will plan to have a second pilot date where we raise awareness in the Northampton Square Garden about All in Bloom and show good citizenship through autistic spectrum disorder.
From November 2020 to December 2020, we will finalize our session plans based on the learning profiles of autistic spectrum disorder individuals to finally have our bi-weekly gardening activities in January 2021 till November 2021. By the end of the year, we aim to have 6 to 8 students achieve their gardening certificate, empower the autistic community by making them the face of good citizenship, improve the awareness in City University of London about bee and pollination decline, and rebuild the Northampton Square Garden.
This is All in Bloom, and by developing, designing, and inspiring, we will empower.
In such a short amount of time, Enactus City has managed to accomplish so much. Enactus City has been able to positively impact the lives of children and young people living with physical and mental disabilities and enabling them to fully engage in and reconnect with the communities around them.
We have upheld City University's title as the most sustainable campus in London by bringing these values to our Enactus team. From coming together, creating amazing projects to being finalists in IPCs, we can proudly say that this is just the beginning of Enactus City making a difference in our local community.